Hello students, I am Rajita from Vagdevi College of Engineering, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. In this session, we are going to learn about data structures through C++ lab programs. Week 6 program, B program. Write a C++ program using class templates to implement the QADT using an array. In order to implement this program, first we need to learn some concepts here. Q and its operations. Q is a linear data structure and the procedure of Q is first in first out or last in last out order, which means the element inserted first will be removed first and the element inserted last will be removed last. And it's having two ends, rear end and front end. And the structure of Q is like this, and it's having rear end and front end. Q operations: insertion or NQ operation, deletion or DQ operation. Q is having two ends, rear end and front end. Using rear end, we are going to insert the element or we are going to NQ the element into the Q. And using front end, we are going to delete the element or DQ the element from the Q. Railway ticket booking: a queue of people at ticket window. The person who comes first gets the ticket first. The person who is coming last is getting the tickets in last. Therefore, which follows the first in first out strategy of queue. In shopping malls also, we are following the same strategy. And vehicles on toll box bridge. The vehicle that comes first to the toll box bridge leaves the booth first. The vehicle that comes last leaves last, which follows the first in first out order. Handling of interrupts in real-time systems. The interrupts are handled in the same order as they arrive, that is first come first serve order. In real-life scenario, call center phone system uses queues concept to hold people calling them in the order until a service representative is free. And these are some of the real-time examples of queue. And the time complexity for NQ operation is big of 1 and for DQ also big of 1, and to find the size of the queue is also big of 1. And this is the code for NQ operation, an algorithm. And let us see the code of NQ operation. And this is the NQ function. And to NQ the values into the queue, first we need to check the condition with the rear position. Rear is greater than or equal to n minus 1 and the queue is overflow, means it is full. We cannot insert element into the queue. Otherwise, we need to check one more condition. If front equal to minus 1, then we need to set the values of front and rear positions to 0. Else, we need to increment the rear position, then we can insert the value into the rear position. And this is the algorithm and code for the DQ operation. And this is the DQ function. And to delete the element from the queue, we need to check the condition with the rear position, rear equal to minus 1. If it is minus 1, queue is underflow, means empty. If it is not empty, then we can delete the element from the queue. But we need to check one more condition while deleting the element from the queue. If rear equal to front. If both are equal, then we need to set the front and rear position to minus 1. If it is not equal to front and rear positions, then go to the else part. Simply we are incrementing the front values, then you can delete the element from the queue. And this is the code for display operation. And to display the values of a queue also, we need to check the condition with the rear position. If rear equal to minus 1, queue is underflow, means empty. It is not possible to display the values of queue. If the condition is false, then we can display the values of queue by using the for loop. Now let us see the animation of NQ operation. So before that, and these three conditions we need to check while entering the element into the queue. Now this is the queue and the name of the queue is Q letter and the queue size is 4 and we are implementing the queue using array and the array index starts from 0 and the size of the queue is 4 and the last element is n minus 1, that is 3. and this is the table to update the front and rear positions while entering the element into the queue. Now initially assume that the queue is empty. When the queue is empty, front and rear values are -1. Now I need to enqueue 10 element into the queue. So first we need to check the condition if rear greater than or equal to n-1. And what is the rear value here? It is -1. And n value, that is size of the queue, is 4. 4 minus 1 means it is the last position of the queue, 3. So rear value is -1 and the n-1 value is 3. So that is -1 greater than or equal to 3. So condition is false. So it is empty, then go for the second condition. If front equal to -1, yes, front equal to -1, then we need to set the front and rear values to 0. So this is the condition when you are entering into the first element into the queue. Then we need to enqueue the 10 into the queue. Before that, set the front and rear positions to 0. Then you can insert the element into the queue. Now I want to enqueue one more element, 20. Now again check the condition. If rear greater than or equal to n-1, what is the rear value here? It is 0 after inserting the first element, and n-1 is 3. So 0 is greater than or equal to n-3, n-1, s. So it is not an overflow condition. Then go to the second condition. If front equal to -1, no, front is not equal to -1. Then go for the next part, else part. Simply increment the rear position. So what is the rear value here? 0. Now we need to increment the rear value with 1. Now in this position we need to enqueue the value. So before that, rear value is moving to the first index position, then you can enqueue the value. Then I need to enqueue one more element, 30. Again we need to check the condition. So rear value is 1 here, and n-1 means 3. So 1 is greater than or equal to 3. So condition is false, means it is not an overflow condition. Then go to the one more condition. If front equal to -1, no, front is 0. Then go for the else part here, rear plus plus, increment the rear value. Now in this index position we need to insert the value here. So before that, first we need to move to the second index position. Then enqueue the 30 element. Then I need to enqueue one more element, 40. So again check the condition. So rear value is now 2 and greater than or equal to 3. So it is not a condition. So it is not an overflow condition. Then go to the one more condition. If front equal to -1, no, front is 0. Then go for the else part. Simply increment the rear value and it is now 3. And in rear value position 3 we need to enqueue the value. So before that, the rear is moving to the index position 3. Then enqueue the value. Then I need to enqueue one more element, 50. Now check the condition. Rear, what is the rear value here? 3. And what is the n-1? 3. So 3 greater than or equal to 3. Now the condition satisfies. Now it is an overflow condition. Means now the queue is full. So one more element is not possible to enqueue into the queue. Now the size of the queue is full with the size -1. So like this we can enqueue the values into the queue. Now let us see the animation for the dequeue operation. Before going to delete the element from the queue, we need to check this condition. Now this is the queue with the name alphabet queue and the size of the queue is 4, and we are implementing the queue using array. An array index starts from 0 to n minus 1, that is size minus 1, 3. Now this is a table to update the front and rear values. Now the queue is filled with the elements 10, 20, 30 and 40. When the queue is full, the front value is 0 and the rear value is size minus 1. That is, front is pointing to the 0th location and rear is pointing to the last index position. Now in this example, the front is pointing to the 0 location and rear is pointing to the last location, that is index position 3. Now if you want to delete the element from the queue, the rear value will be fixed. Why? Because it is pointing to the last index position. Now rear values fixed, that is 3. Now I want to delete the element from the queue. Automatically the first element will be deleted. Why? Because it is first in first out. Now I want to delete the 10 element. Before going to delete the 10 element, first I need to check this condition. If rear equal to minus 1, so what is the value of rear here? 3. 3 equal to minus 1? No, condition is false. Now we are checking this condition for underflow. If this condition is true, the queue is empty, we cannot delete the element from the queue. Now the queue is full with the elements, this condition is false, then go to the another condition. If rear equal to front, so rear value is 3 here and what is the front value here? 0. So both are not equal. Then go for the else part. We need to delete the element from the queue. After deleting the element from the queue, we need to update the front value. Means we need to increment the front value. Now I need to delete this 10 element. So delete the 10 element. So 10 element will be deleted. Now we need to update the front values. So front value will be incremented by 1. Now we need to move this pointer to the next location, index position 1. Now I want to delete the one more element 20. Now first we need to check the condition. If rear equal to minus 1, rear value is 3 only, 3 equal to minus 1, condition is false, it is not an underflow condition. Then go for the next condition. If rear equal to front, so rear is 3, front is 1, both are not equal, then go for the else part. Delete the element from the queue, then increment the front value. So delete the 20 element. Then we need to increment the front value. So front value will be incremented by 1. Now it is pointing to the second location. Now we need to move this pointer to the second index location. Now I want to delete the one more element 30. Check the conditions. Rear value is 3 equal to minus 1. Condition is false. Then go for the one more condition. If rear equal to front, both are different, then go for the else part. So delete the element, then increment the front value. So delete the element 30 here. So after deleting the element, we need to update the front value. Now front value is incremented by 1. Now it is 3. Now we need to move this pointer to the next index location. Now front and rear values are now pointing to the same location, that is index position 3. Now I want to delete this 40 element. Check this condition. If rear equal to minus 1, rear is 3 here, it is not equal to minus 1, condition is false, then go for the next condition. If rear equal to front, yes, now both are equal. Now we need to set the front and rear values to minus 1. Why? Because after deleting this element, the queue is empty. So when the queue is empty, front and rear values are minus 1. So for that purpose, we need to set the front and rear values are minus 1. If front and rear are equal, after deleting this element, we need to update the front and rear values to minus 1 here. So when this situation occurs, if the queue consists of only one element, either it may be at the 0 location or first location or second location or any nth location, if the queue consists of only one element, so this situation arises. So both are equal, then we need to delete this element. After deleting the element from the queue is empty. Now queue values, that is front and rear values, is set to minus 1. Now both are equal. Now we need to delete this element first, 40. Now after deleting this 40 element, queue is empty now. Now we need to set the front and rear values to -1. Suppose I want to delete the element from the queue. Now check the condition. If rear equal -1, yes, now rear equal -1, -1 equal -1 condition is true now. Why? Because queue is empty now. No underflow condition occur. Now we cannot delete any element from the queue. Why? Because the queue is empty. Like this, we can perform the dequeue operations using array. Now let us see the execution of program. So this is the code for queue using an array. So we are using the header files here, iostream header file, stdlib header file, and this is the template, and this is the class syntax, and class name is here queue. So enqueue, dequeue, display, these are the functions. Class is ending with a semicolon. And this is the code for enqueue operation, and this is the code for dequeue operation, and this is the code for display operation. And we have a main function, and we are using the switch case here. And let us try to execute the program. First compile the program. So if you have any errors, it is going to display the errors. If you don't have any errors, try to run the program. Now enter the size of the queue. So let us take the size of the queue is 3 here. So we have a menu, 1 for enqueue, 2 for dequeue, 3 for display, 4 for exit, like that. Now initially the queue is empty. Now try to display the values of queue. Queue is underflow. So why? Because queue is empty, it is not possible to display the values of a queue. Now let us try to dequeue the element again. Again we are getting the queue is underflow. Why? Because queue is empty. Now enqueue the value. Enter the choice 1. Enter the element 10. So take one more enqueue operation, 20 element. Take one more of enqueue operation, element 30. Now take one more enqueue operation. Now we will get the queue is overflow. Why? Because in first step we are taking the size of the queue is 3 only. Now we are already enter the 10, 20, 30 elements. So if you try to enter the fourth element, it is not possible, queue is overflow. Now display the values of queue. The elements in the queue are a of 0 position 10, a of 1 20, a of 3 is 30. Now dequeue the element. Now the first element will be deleted, that is 10 element will be deleted here. The deleted element is 10. Now try to display the values of queue. So at 0th location the value will be deleted, then a of 1 is 20, a of 2 is 30. So like this we can insert and delete and display the values of queue. You can exit from the program using 4 options. So this is the program for queue. We can perform the enqueue, dequeue and display operation using this program. Thank you.